Yeah, I said I'd take a day off, but I did take a day off. I only filled 4 beds today. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you how, because that's probably more productive than making fun of you, right? So some people truly don't know how to garden. So, oh, and by the way, Coffee with Christy. Send your questions, whatever they are, gardening, life, sex, zombies, the war, anything you want. ChristyAphrodite@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did with these beds and why. As you can see, so I started off with the square beds and I just kind of did them, I tried this one first. You can tell they're different wood and just wanted to see would I be able to make them level with, a foot there and a half a foot there. And that worked out. So after it did, I went and got the others and, just kind of filled the gaps in with like wood and rock and stuff like that. But, it's kind of hard work. And it's just me, so I'm thinking, well, how can I work with the land and work a little bit less? So I came up with these beds, which are kind of like butterflies. They're 2 pieces with either 1 or 2 brackets, and that's it. So let me show you what we got going on here. All right, so 2 of the beds have these heavy-duty brackets and the other 2 have the other, because I just try to figure out what's going to work best before I go buy more stuff and finish it. But these are maybe like $4 a piece. They're super heavy-duty, and then I just put some stakes. So what these are, I got 4x8s, and I asked because Home Depot can cut them, and I was having problems with my saw, but I figured it out. Actually, I didn't. I put the blade on backwards, so whatever. Anyways, so I was having problems with my saw and saw that Home Depot cuts wood. So I'm like, oh, killer. So I was going to get the 4x8s and just 1 diagonal cut so I could have giant beds. And they said they don't do diagonal. So I'm like, all right. So I got a bunch of 4x8s and had them cut them in half. And then in half, let's see, that's 2 feet. Yeah, so then another half and then diagonal on those. Okay, and so this was the purpose, to kind of make these beds using the hill and gravity and, and all that too. When I water from the top, everything else, and kind of get watered down here. Okay, but super simple. So I got some free stakes. Drove those in as much as I could in the rock. It's insane here in the Ozarks, but super, super simple. All right, so first of all, use what you have. If you have a house, a yard, whatever, you have shit. You have grass, you have trees, you have leaves, you have twigs, you have branches. Maybe you see the power company out there cutting trees. Ask them for their mulch, after they chip it. Ask around, whatever. So, have you moved recently? Do you have a whole bunch of boxes or cardboard, recyclable stuff sitting somewhere? Well, use your cardboard, okay? So layer that in whatever compost you have. If you don't have any, buy some, whatever. That happens when you just moved in. But so I'll just show you, because I left this kind of messy, so I could just pull out all the pieces. All right. So this is that little weed mat stuff, whatever thing. So that goes on the bottom. Then cardboard, right? And little twigs, branches, etc. Those are also on the bottom. And so there's a gardening method called hugelkultur. Say that 3 times fast. Beetlejuice. Okay. So, and that's basic. you know, it's not a lot of tilling and like other garden methods you're familiar with. You just kind of let the earth do what it does. Like in forest, shit falls, nobody tills it. Things decompose naturally. Things, you know, it's teeming with life. And so I have a broken tree and, well, a whole bunch of trees. So I have access to lots of branches, right? So fill the bottom with that. I used a little bit of this mulch because I have an abundance. Same thing, it's wood, right? And then I mixed compost, manure, peat moss, and topsoil. And then obviously a layer of mulch on top. But that's literally it. Like, if you have cardboard sitting around, this thing, like a 50 or maybe it was 100-foot roll. Nah, yeah, it was easily 100 or maybe bigger. It was like $20, okay? These were free. These were like $12 or $11, the 4x8. So each 4x8 gave me 4 beds. And yeah, so whoops, I forgot to put this branch away. But you know, I like the 4x8 square beds. That's great too. But I also like the blend of masculine and feminine. I don't really like things too orderly. You know, I want it raw and wild. And there we go. Yeah, so I'll be getting some hay. And then on the outskirts, I'll be putting some gardens specifically just for the wildlife, so they're less apt to want mine. But I've been doing